pressure, man. I'm a gray hair got grayer. Look at that. You're a fellow
Hey,
Houstonian. You gotta be nice to me now.
that's how you grow, man. That's how you grow and progress forward, right?
That's right.
Since the Boston retreat, I've been going now by Edgar the Connector.
Okay.
My goal is to put people together that can help each other and progress further and flourish and raise the rising tide, lifts all boats. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm trying to be is the tide that can help lift a bunch of people by connecting them. But yeah, I have met quite a few people that want to help fix some flippers and will get better rates than the hard money lenders. There's private money partners as well. There's equity splits. So it just depends on where you're going to feel comfortable instead of doing your 12% plus points
Right.
and having to make payments as you go. Better to try to get it all taken care of at the end when you close, either sell the house or refurb. So flipping, Brady, you're doing most all flipping or you keeping some? Is it like one for every five?
Well, yeah, not one in five. I've been in the business for a long time. So, matter of fact, I've done quite a few in Houston, the Heights area over in Spring Branch. Did one in Galveston, down in Dickinson, kind of over there in Houston. I'm from Houston, by the way. I'm from Clear Lake City.
Okay.
So, don't be disillusioned by my Cowboy stuff behind me. I'm a big Astros fan. So, I'm the only Astros fan in Dallas, I promise you.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, been in the business a long time. So began transitioning out a few years ago to be more of a flipping consultant with other flippers I knew. I'm getting older and I'm not interested in swinging a hammer as much as I used to. So now, but I have all this experience and knowledge. I know the areas, know Dallas like the back of my hand, know Houston like the back of my hand. And so we've been able to partner with other flippers who are either somewhat newer or they're mildly experienced or, they've done a nice handful themselves. And I come in and kind of help them get the crews lined up. I've got a lot of contacts with subs and materials and also know what they need to do to the house to get top dollar. So we come in on that side of it. And like Ollie was saying, yeah, we are doing one or two a year ourselves, but for the most part, I don't want to be stressed about it. So if it's stressful, I don't do it. I'll let someone else do it. And we just go out, we're deal finders. I mean, our agent team is unbelievable on finding deals at percentages most people haven't even seen before sometimes. And so if we could find partners or connectors like you that when we get a deal, because it's time sensitive. If I could tell a seller I can close it in 10 days, then I'm going to get a better deal than if I tell them I close it in 30. But we want to be in a place where we can make one phone call and say, hey, Edgar, I need, whether I'm using a hard money combined with a private gap lender or whatever the structure is, like you said, private money partners, equity partners, whatever. Just want to be able to have someone that we know, we trust, we can call and say, I've got a buyer, I've got a deal. I don't want to depend on the buyer because, these flippers, I know I've been one. They don't have time to raise money. I mean, they're trying to make sure their painter shows up on time, and they're running to Floor and Decor to get material picked out. So take that out of their hands and let Ollie and I work with someone like you, saying we'll handle the funding on the deal. You just get ready to do the deal, and then we don't have deals falling out at the end because a buyer didn't have time to go talk to his uncle's brother about 100 grand he needs to get started or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely understand that. So this is the best way that having this recording here is going to be the best way to be able to get people to know about you. So Brady, how many flips have you done?
I've been part of probably almost 50 over the years. And, like I said, most of that's in Dallas, a good handful in Houston and even Austin.
Okay. And that's the area you want to stick in, right? Dallas, Houston, Austin.
Yeah, Dallas is just, I mean, Dallas is going to be the top metro area in the next 10 years in the country. Everyone's moving here. It's a good mixture of everybody. But that doesn't mean we'd love to duplicate our efforts. I've got the same amount of contacts and such in Houston and in Austin. So, we're definitely looking expanding our buyer pool and our flipper pool, if you will, down there in those areas too. But right now we're focused primarily on the DFW area for what we're doing.
Okay. Besides just the flipping, do you ever need more work for your crews? Like if another flipper has a deal in place and they need to put the construction crew to work, are you open to do something like that as well?
To make sure I understand, or if we have people that need work done on their projects.
Right. Another flipper. Let's say I have a flip right now and my crews are busy and I don't want to give up this flip because my contractor's not going to be able to get to it. Are
Yeah.
you open to sharing your contractor, getting like a fee from there as well?
No.
No, Nate.
No, my people are for my flips and for my partner's flips, not anybody else unless they're free. And
No,
they're
I
not.
understand.
They're
Yeah,
they're too busy. You know, I can't look. My wife has been asking me to replace our windows for 5 years, and I'm like, I can't get my guys to my own house. You know,
that's a good
if you
problem.
pulled up at my house, you'd be like, man, you need to flip your own. I go, I know, man. I mean, I do, but yeah.
Opportunity costs. Yep,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Opportunity cost.
exactly,
Yeah. No,
exactly.
we stay so busy. You know, we have multiple crews we work with that we know that we trust, and that's one of the beautiful things that Ollie and I are bringing to the table. So when we have like we met a guy and we were talking to him yesterday that's he's a Gator, he's in Subto, he's a construction guy, but he's never done a flip, but he wants to do a flip. I'm like, well then let's go do a flip. So we're getting a property lined up for him. We'll get the funding lined up for him. But this guy already has his own team. I mean, I'm like, dude, you should be doing your own flips. I mean, you're
Yeah.
doing this for everyone else. So he's excited about it, and that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I guess right now you're getting hard money loans mainly. What are they charging you? 12%, and
Yeah. I mean, we have several people that we talk to. It's not one hard money lender, but it's typically, between 10 and 13%. I think it's pretty standard. Hard money is pretty standard. Not a lot of difference. I think the difference comes in private money, more than hard money, obviously. But just to give you a small idea of the homes that we're targeting or the niche that we really focus on. Brady likes to call them lipstick on a pig. 50 homes that are 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s built that have been very well preserved, just need love. They need modernization, they need a cosmetic flip basically. And a lot of those in North Dallas are being sold to either families moving or they're being sold to investors like us who want to flip the home, right? Because there's a lot of people, old couples downsizing or people moving out or, changing homes, upgrading homes, changing neighborhoods, whatever. But these are kind of homes that we focus on. We've done others as well, and we're actually on the way right now to doing one in the lower range, but typically it's between 500,000, 700,000. It goes, outside of these barriers, but that's kind of the average in terms of purchase price. ARV around 1 million, even a little bit more. We have a deal right now actually that's 800,000 in purchase price, and the ARV is 1.3. Rehab is like 110. So it's the deal we gave the deal to our buyer at 60% of ARV, and I can tell you for sure that every single buyer, every single flipper is looking for a 60%, 65% of ARV, especially when, Brady's expertise is not just about the deal, right? It's about the crew and the costs to, the lowering costs for a flipper. It's not just, here's a crew, go ahead. No, here's the crew, and here's the reason why this crew is better than a lot of other crews because of this scope of work. This is the number, this is the cost. If you go talk to somebody else, you're going to pay 20, 30% more. This is the cost. We are helping you lower costs. And in addition to that, it's basically the entire process of finding the deal, flipping the deal, and funding the deal and flipping the deal. We want to be consultants. We want to act as consultants. Call us deal finders, call us flip solutions, call us consult, whatever you want to call us. But we are the people that will find you the deal and will help you finish the deal. That's if you want to summarize it, that's who we are basically using Brady's expertise, using my expertise, using our agent network. We only do on-market deals. Our agents work for us. They look if they get us deals and we get them and move. So that's kind of an overview if you want.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they say there's no deals in the market.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want them to keep saying that, keep believing that, keep
Yes.
preaching that, keep saying it all day, people.
Right
Right.
away, let us have them.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's Edgar, being in Texas, I mean, it's we're really messing up if we don't take advantage of the Texas market for the next probably 10 years. It's not just Dallas. And Austin's making a comeback. That was kind of that was what we call a fad in the real estate world when everyone ran to Austin in 19 and 20. But Houston, Dallas, even San Antonio is starting to see major growth happen in the real estate in terms of remodeling and renovation. And it makes sense because you've got these neighborhoods, when you think about what part of Houston are you in?
I currently live in Crosby, Northeast.
Yeah, okay, so you're out northeast. So, I mean, that area, oh my gosh. I mean, think about from just Beltway 8 all the way up to Cleveland, what's happened in the last 10 years there.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's unbelievable. Every time I go back, which is typically at least 2 or 3 times a year right now, I feel like 100 years of development has happened. I'm like, where was that mall or whatever they built? So, these markets are just saturated with these neighborhoods that are like in the Houston area along 610, where you have the loop, like where the Heights area is,
right.
where at once you had everybody moving in to live near downtown. They lived there. The homes were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and now they're moving back out. And now some of them are starting to move back in again. So, you have these massive amount of neighborhoods with these homes. Same thing in Dallas, where these people are aging out or they lose a spouse or whatever the situation is, and the houses are clean, they're solid, they're well built, they're just outdated, and so we come in and take it over and give it a new lease on life, if you will. We pass on that family legacy that was there to a new buyer, and we take it, in its meaningful way, and with our flippers that we work with, and we go to town on it. So it's great. So the funding piece of it is why we go to someone like you saying, okay, we got a deal. A lot of times what'll happen, Edgar, is the buyer, meaning the flipper, whoever that is, it's going to flip the property, will already have, like, say they're a hard money lender, and they'll have a hard money lender that's saying, okay, I'm going to give you, it's a $500,000 buy. I'm going to loan you, 80%, 85%, maybe even up to 90%. And you need to come to the table with, 100 grand or 50 grand, whatever the number is. And so this flipper's in a predicament because they may have that 50,000, but they need to use that to start the property up and to fund the operational costs. So what do? And I said, well, this is where we come in. We come in and bring in a gap lender that fills that gap, and then you can go start working on your project, do your bank draws as you normally do, and get this thing done. And yeah, you're going to give up some profit to that gap lender. That's what Pace and Jamil and all of them talk about all the time. But you're still going to come out doing well, and you didn't have to use your own money. And that's the role we fill with our buyers, that we partner with someone like you to make that happen.
Yep,
Sounds
exactly.
yeah, understood. Currently, you're getting 80% of hard money loans. You're not able to get 100% yet, right?
Not yet. We're working with a couple teams where we started this conversation, but 100% funding is not as easy as
Right.
it sounds, right? So I don't want to rely on this 100%, but at the same time, it's a good option for sure if we can get 100% funding. I mean, who's going to say no, right? But it's the process is not as easy as it sounds. So we want to kind of have a pool of options, basically. The only reason we're doing all of this is, like everybody else, nobody wants to lose deals, and these deals are great deals, like six-figure income for the flipper after everything, right? So everybody's making money. The private money lender, the hard money lender, us, the flipper, everybody. So it just comes down to that part. It's the gap. It's the gap funding. And
Yeah.
when you get that gap funding, everybody's happy, everybody makes money. And private money lender makes probably the most. So I mean it's relying on that gap, and that's where we want to fill. I don't want to be in a position where, you know, I don't have anything lined up for this for that gap for that funding. So yeah, wanted to connect, talk to as many people as I can, see what we can do, how we can work together. And I mean, I wouldn't love anything more than to work with Owners Club people, right? So with Owners
Yeah.
Club members.
Owners
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that, Ollie and I have talked about a lot, is keeping it within the community, for me, for him, for others I know in whether it be Gator, Subto, Owners Club, with Jerry or Jamil, whatever. It's such a big part of our lives, and so many meaningful friendships and business relationships have come from it, that we want to try to keep it all as much as we can in the community so that, it's a story to tell that pays with love, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And, so it's exciting when we think about it, you know, when we get a deal, as you know, Edgar, from your experience in this business, when we get a deal, it's like someone pulled the fire alarm at school. It's the only way I can explain it. So it is, we've got a deal, everybody run for the lives because we got a lot to do
Right.
in 3 days, right? So, that's why we're trying to form these relationships ahead of time so that when we call and say, I need 100 grand in 3 days, it's not a shock, because they know who we are, what we're doing. And I would say that it's kind of when it goes to the 100% funding you guys were talking about, yeah, there's 100% funding out there, but you've got to have a bunch of HUDs. You got to have collateral sometimes. You got to be willing to give up a lot of profit for maybe a PMP, and that's not going to fit every one of our buyers. Some of our buyers are not going to fit that mold. So we have everything from a first time flipper to someone that's done 10, 12, 20 different flips that we're working with. So we're going to have kind of all options and then determine with your help, maybe which route's the best way to go for this guy so we can get this deal done.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
understand. I'm just trying to narrow down which ways, and everything's gonna be steps, right? We gotta crawl before we can walk, and walk before we can drive and fly. So yeah, I'm just trying to see where you're at, see what steps we can get you at to get to the next level. So right now, I assume you're getting a couple of loans to get your deals done, one for your like 70%, and then you get funding for the rest of it.
Yeah, typically, yeah. Typically between 85 and 90 is where that's the kind of the average hard
Nice.
money, and then the rest private money, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we have, let me give you an example. We have a guy right now. We have a property that we'll have contracted within the next 24 to 48 hours. I got to browbeat the agent a little bit after this call, but we'll have it. I'm not worried about it.
Mhm.
Great property, okay? We're talking I think it's 60, 61% ARV, great location in North Dallas. Our buyer has liquidity, has some liquidity, has some experience. He's got, I think, 3 flips to himself. He's a pilot, so he's very educated, smart guy. But he wants a deal, but he wants us to have it fully funded. So he might be a guy that would qualify for the 100%. But even so, with his current hard money lender, because he has 100,000 in the bank that he can show, then they're only going to require 10% down. So with the deal we're working right now, you're looking at about 125,000, I think is right. I don't
Yes.
remember the exact number. It was around 100, 125, and he's off to the races. So it's for the community being as large as it is, which is with as much money's out there, it's really kind of a no-brainer. And so those are the kind of deals we can call you with as soon as we have it, saying, here's the scenario. Where do you think we should go with it? And can we get it done before closing? In this case, will probably be, first part of December. So we'd have some time, but that's kind of a good example of what you would see coming across your desk from us.
Yeah. Typically we don't want to, we obviously, work to get as much time as we can, but like Brady said earlier, sometimes you have to push quick to get the deal. But typically between 15 and 20 days is kind of the time that we have or we give our lenders, whether it's during the option or after the option, but period, the inspection period. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is we give time. It's not rushed. It's not, this much. Obviously, yes, like Brady said, it's a fire alarm. Everybody's running. Everybody's doom, doom, doom.
Right.
But at the same time, we're giving you time to underwrite, to do your due diligence and all of that stuff, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
It's understood. Yeah. I mean, it's the real estate game. The seller needs to move away quickly. They need their funds quickly. And we
Mhm.
got to get the crews moving for the fix and get all the material ordered. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely understandable. So I hear you. I guess you already have most of these, you already have buyers in place before you get them under contract and ready to flip them. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, I mean, so we kind of focus. So the way I was doing wholesaling before was, I didn't have 10,000 buyers and I just send my deal on email. I used to work with 4 buyers that I know very well. I know what they want. I know what their kids' names. I understand, I know who they are, I know their family, I know what they want, I know what they're looking for, and I go find a deal for them. And this is kind of a similar way to do it. This is how we're doing it. We have buyers, we understand who they are, we vet them, we know who they are. We you know we find out if they're serious or not, and then we find them a deal. You know what I mean? It's not the other way around. We find a deal and then we're searching and fire alarm. We're searching for a buyer who wants this, who wants this. So typically, yes, we typically have a buyer ready for before the deal. But some things happen where the buyer, for example, can't commit to a project right now. Their daughter, something happened, or whatever. A lot of things happen. Right? It's life.
Yeah.
But that's typically what we shoot for, having everything lined up before.
So, and I assume when your buyer goes and buys it, they'll do like a DSCR loan or a conventional loan to buy it out once you're done with the flip.
Well, it depends. It depends on the buyer. It depends on the qualifications. For example, the buyer that Brady mentioned, he's a pilot. He has 800 credit score. So this guy doesn't need a DSCR loan. He can qualify for conventional. Doesn't even have to put collateral. Maybe a little bit for the down payment. And we have other buyers that have not the best credit score, but they have the HUDs. They have the experience. They've done it before. So the qualifications really depend on who it is. It varies per buyer, but I would say typically it's conventional. If we have to, we'll go the SCR, but there's no limit, right? This is we're in the boat of creative finance. So anything that needs to get the deal done, let's do it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So currently you need more funding. What I want you to do, Brady, is I want you to introduce yourself. We're gonna do a little snippet. You say, "Hey, I'm Brady. I'm doing so many flips right now. Currently, I want to be able to do, let's say, double the flips. So what I'm looking for is a lender that will do your percentage that you're looking for, no points up front, get paid out when the property closes and sells to the end buyer. And that way, when I start talking to people, is, oh, hey, look at this video. This is this guy. This is who he is. When people see a face and they hear you, your confidence of what you're doing, it
Right.
it helps out. I've done this for somebody that's in Savannah. Got them with a couple of other lenders, and they're starting the process of that as well.
Right.
So like currently, I'm pretty sure you know what your number is. I don't want to ask you what it is, but on here, you probably 12% and plus 2 points or whatnot, just whatever the number you're looking for right now. And little by little, when you do more sales, you'll work your way down, right? You'll start getting better rates once they feel more comfortable and they see it. And then also your term of how long your flips are going to take. Are they taking 3 months on average, 9 months on average? I know each one is depending. If it's a price range, also say what price you're looking for. Are you staying in the 400,000s? You're going 800,000, you can have a mix. What's your max that you feel comfortable flipping is one thing. And then you're also minimums. A lot of people don't want to do really low end because it's hard to get conventional funding for or DCSR loans for anything like under 100K.
Yeah, good idea. So, hey guys, my name is Brady. I'm working with my partner Ali, Owners Club, Subto, Gator, and we are tearing it up in the Dallas area with flips. We've got a crew, we've got an agent power team finding deals that blows people's socks off sometimes. And so we've got a partnership with a lot of flippers in the Dallas area that we're bringing deals to. And we are looking for more funding partners, whether it's 100%, 80%, whatever. Our price range typically is in that, we call it lower luxury area, where we're looking at a buy-in of 600,000 to 800,000, throw in rehab at 100, 150, and with an ARV of 1.1, something like that. That's kind of our sweet spot. But we also do deals that are just south of that, with a buy-in of 400 to 500 there in North Dallas, with an ARV running 600, 700, 800. These are homes that they're not tear downs, they're not take it to the studs. They are clean. They've been kept up for the most part. They're just aged out. These are communities where people are moving away, downsizing, they passed away, and we're able to find these deals. So we are looking for, fair to good rates, I would say, depending on who's going to be actually managing that project. But we're looking for gap lending, hard money lenders, the works, because we're finding 2 or 3 deals a week right now, guys. So, and as we all know, people are running to Texas in droves. So we're going to be busy for a long time, and we are busy now. We literally have 3 deals right now as we're recording this that we're looking for partners on. So if you want to make some money, come join the fun with us.
What's the average time on your flips?
I would say the average time on our flips runs about 6 months. We don't typically go longer than that unless it's a really extensive rehab, you know? And so when we go in and look at a property, we don't just walk in for 5 minutes. I do a full scope of work on the property since my background is obviously in renovations. And then we rank those rehabs from 1 to 3. So if it's a level 3, you're talking everything almost down to the studs, and that's going to be, that's going to be every bit of 4 months of work. And then with the sales cycle, 2 or 3 months, it may go 7. But most of our stuff, we're in and out within 10 to 12 weeks tops on the work side. So you're looking at, a 4 to 5 month turnaround. So 6 months is a safe way to say, you can count on being in and out in about 6 months.
Yeah, it's great to always be conservative.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Pace really focuses on this. Brady, he really preaches this in Owners Club, cloning yourself, telling a story,
Yeah.
stuff out there. So, I mean, that is great. So,
Yeah, man, I can't tell you, you're just the testimony of what the community has done for me. I mean, I
yeah.
still laugh thinking about how you and I met, Ollie. I mean, we're sitting out there in Orlando. I don't know if Edgar, you were there at
Mhm.
Squad Up, but we were sitting outside the hotel at, I don't know, 3 in the morning. I mean,
Yeah.
every night, right? I didn't sleep the whole week,
Yeah.
and then here we are doing business together. It's just so cool. And now Squad Up's going to be in Dallas. So Edgar's got a quick little drive. Stay at my
Yep.
house if you need to, man. I mean, I'm 10 minutes from the airport.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I'm assuming that's where it's going to be. I don't think they've announced it yet, but
Anatoly, the
oh yeah,
Hilton.
the Anatole, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, man. That's a little swanky. Oh, Dallas there.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, man, we would, yeah, seriously, Edgar, anybody you could connect us to. I mean, literally, we have deals. We will have 2 more tomorrow. We got one right now. We're ready to roll with whoever you might know that be interested in stepping in that role.
We're looking for a deal. We're looking for funding on a deal that we have right now in North Dallas. It is a $400,000 home. We are looking for $125,000 in private money. We typically like to structure them in a way where our buyer or partner is gonna have, a startup cost, at least 2 or 3 months worth of payments on the front so that they can be comfortable. They don't have to worry about the payments and all of that stuff. But deal is at 61% of ARV. We have the ARV is around 620, and it's a pretty light rehab. $70,000 in rehab. You're probably in and out in 10 to 12 weeks, with the sales cycle and everything, maybe 5, 6 months at the latest. And it's almost 3 digits, almost a six-figure income for the buyer. So if you have money, let me know.
So $125,000 and is what you need, private money, and then in about 6 months, pay them back. What collateral is it? Is they going to be first lien position, second lien position on the house?
Second position.
Okay. All right. And that's North Dallas.
This is where your magic comes in. What did you say? What did you say they call you?
Edgar the Connector.
Edgar the Connector. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that, Edgar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
man. So yeah, next time I'm in town, man, we ought to have lunch or something. I'm hoping to get down there probably sometime early December. I've still got some guys that are doing some deals down there. I want to go kind of check on them, and I haven't been down to Houston since the summer, and I like
Okay.
to try to get down there every 3 or 4 months. See the old stomping grounds, but I'd love to try to find one in that Heights area again. That was so fun. It's such a great area. I mean, it's obviously a hot spot, but you can really do well out there.
Yeah, we're closing on one soon. It's a little bit different. It's not a fix and flip. It's already been flipped.
Okay.
The buyer bought it on a really busy street. So all the people that were interested backed away because the street's too busy.
Yeah.
So the flip is done beautifully, but we're gonna convert it from 3 bedrooms to 8 bedrooms, make it
Do
called living.
oh,
Wow.
oh yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So we're gonna do Morby method on it. We've already talked to them.
Yeah.
We have everything in process. We got the appraisal going out tomorrow, and it just
Beautiful.
depends on that.
Yeah.
But
It's funny how, I mean, so we had a squad up meeting here. We have a regular meeting here in Dallas. I'm sure you guys do that down there, Subto, and so we had our monthly meeting last month, and I met this flipper who's going to be one of our new buyers in our group. And so she said, I'm having a tough time selling this house, and it's in the North Dallas area, kind of similar to where ours is. And I thought, she told me about it, sent me the Zillow link, and I thought it looked really good. And so she said, "Would you come out and take a look at it?" And so grabbed one of our agents. We went out there. Literally, this is last week. And, as soon as I pulled up, I was like, oh man, I wish you'd have known me before now, because she had bought it. So the street, the houses across from her literally backed up to 635, which is like 610. And so the road noise is just, and I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have bought this house. I mean, I know people will buy these houses because obviously these houses are going to have residents in them at some point, but
Right.
you're just taking on such a risk as a flipper because you're probably going to have to cut it significantly.
Yeah.
And so that's where we come in. That's kind of a big part of our strategy is, we go find deals that don't have those issues. I'm not going to buy something or contract something that's on a busy road or that's backed up to,
Right.
the mall or whatever. You got to look at those things, and so many of these people don't, and it's not necessarily their fault. They're just not educated enough or experienced enough to know that. And so here comes you. I'm going to buy your flip that you did, all of this work on, and turn it into a money center, splitting it up. I mean,
Great. Creative finance right there. Problem
yeah,
solving. Real estate.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's actually what this lady was asking, is if I thought we could do something like that with it. And I don't know. I'm not that experienced on that side of it. So it might be something for her to look at, though, for sure.
Yeah, co-living for sure. It just depends on the HOA, if there's an
Yeah.
HOA there or not.
Yeah.
If there is an HOA, then try to find a sober living operator for it because an HOA
Yeah.
can't shut it down.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool, man.
Well, nice to meet you, Edgar. I've heard about you from Ali there, and I remember when y'all were out in Arizona. I was so jealous I wasn't there. I was having major FOMO, back cut off.
It was very nice. Boston was very nice too.
Yeah,
Austin was amazing, right? How'd you like the city? Was it your first time here?
Yeah, but I didn't really get it. I was too busy networking and recording podcasts and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
do I explore? If I go explore, I'm gonna do it when I don't have so many connections there,
yeah,
My wife didn't go this time either, so next time I'll go and take her around along with me to explore.
Yeah, let me know when you're here. We can go for lunch or dinner, and I can at least tell you where to go for good food and good places.
Nice.
Been here for 3 years, but I've lived in this city in all of these years, and it's my favorite place in this country. It's I love it. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Very nice. Cool.
Yes.
awesome.
Well, all right.
All right. Thanks,
Uh,
Edgar, for your time.
I'll work on finding somebody for y'all that can
Awesome.
do that much for 6 months and at a little bit better than hard money rates.
Okay.
Cool,
Awesome.
man.
Thank you,
All right.
Edgar. Appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
man.
All right.
Talk to you
Peace
soon.
out.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Catch this next podcast where you can start your dreams and start to own your time the way these other guests have.